I'll now explain how to use the decision matrix to make your decision. This is actually a great tool. I use it a lot. I actually used it to make a job decision when I had two to choose from, and it led me to the right choice, I think. So it's really quite simple. It is you need a row and a column, and one of them is going to be your list of different options that you're considering, and the other one is going to be the factors or the criteria that you think are important to make that decision. And so I'm going to do an example with planning an event, let's say. And so the different factors that I decided were important in this hypothetical situation were the budget of the event, so the lower the better, if it will attract first-year SOM students, if it's fun, and then the last one is, will they learn more about this club that I'm planning the event for? And so once you figure out the different factors that are important to you, then you need to, as a group or individually, depending who is important to this, you need to weigh each of these criteria based off of how important is your decision. So let's say my budget. Let's say that I actually have a lot of club funding, and while I would like it to be cheap, it's not that important to me, so I could put a 1 there. Let's say attracting first years is actually quite important to me because I'm a brand new club and I want to attract people. I may put a 5 there. Fun is great. I think that would be important to me, but it's not the most important thing, so I'm going to put a 4. And then learning about the club is important to me, and so I think that I'm going to put a 4 there as well, let's say. So I've weighted 1, 5, 4, and 4. Now what I need to do is similarly go through each of my options and give it a weight 0 to 5 as to how much it fulfills each criteria. And so let's say for option 1, under budget, it fulfills it. Let's say it's a very expensive event, so I'll give it a 5. Let's see for option 2, it's not that expensive, but it's not that cheap either, so I'm going to give it a 3. But option 3 is actually a free event, so I'm going to give it a 0 under budget. So I will do this for each of the different criteria. One thing to note is that you don't have to give a different score. So let's say that in terms of attracting first years, they all will do it greatly. So you could give each of these a 5. That's fine. So you basically go down the row and column, and you make sure you have a score for each option and each factor that you're considering. And then essentially you just add up in this case, you add up the different points across the row, and you'll come up with a total points at the end. And then whichever one has the highest score is the option that you could consider. Of course, this isn't black or white, so if you actually realize that there are 2 that have a really high score, you could then go into a deeper conversation or use other types of decision-making tools to determine which one you should pick. So I hope that was helpful for you. Again, it's called the decision matrix, and you can also find more information on Google. Thanks so much.